Hey guys, joining Luke and Chelsea with Ironing Out the Kinks podcast, talking all things sexy, naughty, and just fun, as always.
Yup.
Sound a bit distracted on the intro because I'm thinking about buying dog food. It just reminded to me that I need to go out and buy dog food after this, so not for anything sexy, for an actual dog. So, you're joining a married couple who love discussing all of these fun topics. Before we jump into it again, I'm going to tell people
YouTube.
That was the least enthusiastic YouTube anyone's ever done.
I felt it as well.
Yeah?
I felt all shaky coming out like
do
I
it
was.
again.
Follow us on YouTube. Head over right now. Pause the episode. We'd really appreciate your subscribe. You don't have to watch us on there. We just need the subscribers. Simple as that.
Literally, do us a favour. If we're not asking you to go and watch us on YouTube, I mean, you can if you enjoy that. Totally.
You're looking at my boobs then.
I was checking out your tits. Yeah.
I saw that. My eyes are up here.
Sorry. But yeah, go over, check us out, and just drop a subscribe. It just helps us out. And in the same vein, whatever you listen to us on, like us, subscribe to us. Again, it boosts our algorithm. It gets more people seeing this kind of stuff. And if what we're covering is a little bit near and dear to your heart and you think that maybe what we're saying is good and should be out there a little bit more, help other people see it by just giving us a fucking rating. Share us on social medias. But we'll talk about social medias at the end, right? Let's get stuck into this. Let's get finger deep.
Okay, so we're starting with our top 100 kinks.
Top 100 kinks.
The first one is leather and latex.
Leather and latex.
Or just like, we can just look around the whole leather scene.
Yeah. I think
they are kind of two different things, but they're very closely similar. The reasons for why you be into them are quite same on the ball.
So that's people who are sexually attracted to people wearing or using leather or latex.
Sexually attracted to the feel of it on themselves and the look of themselves in it.
Yeah. So this isn't something I've got much history with.
No.
I don't know if you've...
What about them leather traps in the wardrobe in the bedroom?
That's not for me. That's for Lucy. She only comes out on Wednesdays.
Oh, yeah.
It's not me, though. It's not Luke.
No.
No, it's Lucy.
Lucy, okay.
Different person. I don't know what she's into. Maybe she's into leather. I don't know. But no, I don't think either of us have really
not particularly.
into this.
No.
But doing a bit of research, I immediately get why. As soon as I start reading people's sort of descriptions of what they like, there's like a strength in leather. Mm-hmm. You know, specifically, I'm going to talk about leather first, but there's like a strength in leather. There's a way you can make it mold to the body.
Yes.
But with it also still being tough. It has a really, can have a soft and supple touch, but a very distinctive touch. You know you're touching leather if you're touching leather, and the smell. It's all very distinctive. It's all very much unique to that fabric. So that's where I think that people can get drawn into it. As soon as you sexualize those very unique characteristics, and they can't be confused for anything else, really, you've got a uniqueness that will just be like...
You've also got the look of people in it. It's a very striking look. It's a very empowering... I'd say a powerful look, somebody in leather. Yeah. So when you look at leather women or dominatrixes, they're always in leather. It's quite a powerful, especially when it comes to women, it's quite a powerful look. But then on the flip side with men, I know leather was and could sometimes still be heavily associated with the gay community because that's where they started to claim their independence and identity within
within sort of mainstream sexuality.
Exactly. Yeah. So it was almost a way of identifying way back when.
Thank God we're past that. It baffles me.
I know.
So the other thing what you were saying there is two things that I want to touch on. So like if you were to be like wanting to be dominated by a woman and she turns up wearing leather, again I think it's that strong texture. You know, leather's really strong, super strong. So the fact that they're wearing this strong fabric, this tough fabric that still molds to their body and gives a shine, I think is like obviously holds quite an obvious eroticism. Yeah. The other thing is the colour. You never see anyone in like white leather chaps, you know? It's always black leather. Are you
hinting your Christmas present? Sorry, it's Lucy hinting her Christmas present.
I don't know what Lucy wants, you know, whatever. But I think maybe the colour, because it's always black.
Yeah.
And I think there's a reason for that. I think that the colour of it holds something in their eye. And I don't know what it is really. I'm not too sure.
No.
But I get it. Because it's almost a sexy colour, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You know, either like red.
Well, it's always quite dark and...
Yeah. But
I was going to say seedy, but I don't know. Dark and mysterious.
There you go.
Dungeony.
Yeah.
When it comes
seedy
to...
has negative connotations, which again I think is bullshit, because I think it's a great word.
Yeah, seedy. It's
a
seedy looking dungeon. I love it.
Motherfucker, get me in. Yeah. So yeah, would we incorporate leather? I mean, we have touched mainly on leather. Latex is very similar, other than it has a really shiny finish, which is what people like, almost like a liquid type finish. Yeah. Which I think is why people have got really into epoxy resin in the last like 4 years.
You think that not because of crafts, not because of Etsy, not because of side hustles, because everyone has a kink on latex.
I think COVID brought around people with side hustles, and then the vast majority enjoyed it because it's shiny and sexy.
Okay.
But no, I think there's something about seeing that kind of texture.
Yeah.
I love that like mirror texture, not for a sexual way, but I just love it. I just think it's
this is what I was thinking with us. I think the reason we probably never even looked at leather or anything like that is because your favorite thing to see me in is nothing. Yeah. I've tried to like initiate buying sexy underwear that you would like, and you're like, no,
don't waste your time.
Just naked.
That's my favorite. For us though, again, there's a difference with us where we don't necessarily use clothing or even really objects as part of our dynamic. Whereas I think probably maybe in the future we'll evolve towards that. Yeah. You know, I've got no aversion to that. And we obviously, I feel like everybody's always constantly sexually evolving one way or another. So maybe we will. Mm-hmm. But at the minute, I just want to see you naked. I just want to put you in all of the positions and look at you. I think
I'm just having my mind going off. If I was the dom in our relationship, I probably feel quite empowered wearing something like that. I'd be like, it's almost like putting on a mask, taking myself out of everyday Chelsea and putting myself into dominatrix, sexy Chelsea. It's like wearing that role. Wearing a role. We said we weren't going to talk about role play this week. But it is. It's all bloody role play, really. But you see what I'm saying? Like, I understand from the dom side of women, it is wearing a role. And then flipping it and looking at submissive males, the leather for them, like wearing leather trousers or wearing a leather jacket or something, that's quite leather masks. Well, yeah, I'm your slave mistress. Very much so. Ownership. Yeah. No, I think it's an interesting one. And if anyone's got any experience on that really, really listened to this and thought, fuck, I want them to talk about it, fire it at us. We'll give you the links at the end. That means you've got to stick around to the end to listen to what the links are. Right, what's the next one? The next one is used underwear. Okay. Take it away. This is a favourite of mine. Yeah. So people who enjoy... It's that much of a favourite. We've literally got some of your underwear hanging off of our camera right now in front of Luke. In front of me, yeah. I didn't do that though, by the way. People are going to again be like, this man is... It's because you came into the bedroom. No, you came into this room after I'd given it to you the day before and was like, there you go, you can have them back now. And I just hung them on the camera and they've been there ever since. Yeah. They're sticky. They're sticky. So used underwear, this is for people like myself who enjoy having a woman's or male's used underwear. For me, it's yours, obviously. But yeah, the idea for it, the why for me is I can smell you. I love that smell. I love it. I love, going down on you. I love that intimacy. And there's obviously like a scientific reason behind like pheromones are released there in order to encourage mating. And it's just naughty. I just know that they've been strapped to your vagina for however long, and it means I get to like smell you. Mm-hmm. And when I work away, you'll often surprise me with a used pair of underwear in my bag. Yeah. I never understood, even when I was younger, I think I had this kink before I knew what it was for. Right. So like I can't remember what it was. It was some bullshit TV program like EastEnders or something. If you're still watching EastEnders now, grow up. But they one of the girls was having an affair with a guy and she gave him new underwear that she'd bought. Right. And I remember thinking, I was young at this point, and I remember thinking, shouldn't they be worn? I wouldn't want underwear with the tags on. It doesn't make sense. Am I going to wear them? You have always been a pervert. Yeah. Fucking loud and proud, baby.
yeah, so that's the why, and that's like, it's extreme, especially I can imagine people who buy women's underwear on the internet. That's got to be almost quite a rush. That's somebody you're never going to meet, you'll never know, you'll never have sex with, but you get to smell their most intimate areas and like taste it almost.
Mm-hmm.
I get that. I wouldn't do it because I'm tight as fuck. But that's sexy.
Yeah.
And I know many men who would try and keep hold of a woman's underwear.
See, this surprises me. So when we've been like moving and stuff before and had movers in, you've been like, make sure you're packing your underwear up. I don't want any of the men still in your underwear.
Yeah.
And I'm like, who's going to do that? But you're
So
convinced
many
that
people,
so many men will just pinch a pair of underwear if they could.
100%.
Yeah.
You know, again, I'm not going to tell you stories from when I was in secondary school, but
I can
you'd
only
go to like
imagine.
house parties and stuff, and
Oh no.
yeah, there'd be all sorts of nonsense going on. But
oh, now this like worries me for any house party I had when I was 15. Are you telling me like the lads were nicking my underwear
100%.
out my washing bin?
1,000,000%.
No.
Yeah, 1,000,000%. I'm sorry.
I need to text all my friends now from back in the day.
Don't, because they were like, yeah, still use them. Yeah.
That's why they keep trying to add me.
Stop it. So, yeah, what?
I think also, I'm just going to say this from like the women's point of view. I love that you want my underwear.
Yeah.
And when I know that you're working away, for one, I love it when you found them and you're so excited to smell them later, or you're like, I can still smell you. I feel like, oh, I don't know, it's a tingle. I can't describe the sensation. Yeah. And then like when it comes to bedtime and you need to exercise your demons before bed.
That's our secret way of putting it. Nobody knows that.
Oh, we've said it a few times. But and the fact that you're using them, it's just, I'm not the dom in this relationship, but it's a really like empowering feeling still.
You're like enabling me to, you know, have a better orgasm.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing.
There's that
scenario.
thing of like, from my point of view anyway, and I know a lot of other women that I speak to, we don't care if our men watch porn. That's absolutely fine. It's all the better if they're watching a video or wanking to pictures of us. Yeah. And in my head, it's all the better that you're smelling me while you're in that like
heightened arousal
moment.
Type moment. Yeah.
I like the thought of that. So I think if there's any women listening where your man or woman stays away a lot or works away, I think this is a little like fun, sexy thing to touch on. You pop it in their bag, they won't know about it, and when they get to wherever they are and you're like, how is it, you're settled in or whatever, oh, have a look in your side pocket, there's a little treat for you in there for tonight. Do it. Do it for people.
You took the words out of my mouth.
Yeah.
I was going to say about how do people do this, and I was going to talk about the empowerment point of view from a female.
Okay.
Or the male, depending on, you know, however your relationship is. But I think it's not even if they're working away. Do you remember weeks and weeks ago, one of our like first few episodes, we had somebody say that they had got together with the person they were with after having an affair. They'd had an affair together.
Oh, yeah.
And they were they'd had all of this heightened stuff, and then it kind of died off. They go to work, put it in their coat pocket.
Well, I've done this for you when you've just gone to work anyway.
Exactly.
So,
and I tell you what, having to like go back to our changing rooms to like, you know, I'm just going to go grab my wallet because I'm going to go to the shop. Yeah. I go into the change rooms and I just go, and I'm like, and I know you're going to get it when I get in tonight. Yeah. Because all day, it's the thing of flirting.
Like in the glove box of a car or anything like that. There's so many things that you could do. And this is almost, like you say, it's like it's flirting. Yeah. It's not like
foreplay.
It's not sexting throughout the day or anything. It's a whole nother level.
Yep. It's foreplay. That's all it is. It's another area, like we say, foreplay starts at the beginning of the day. It doesn't start in the bedroom.
Exactly.
This is a kind of foreplay. And again, if you were, as an example, I'm going to delve into it because I'm thinking about it now. But if you were a female like dom in a relationship, you can give them to your sub and be like, there you go, smell those all day, think of me all day. And then they come home at night and then just be like, you don't get to touch yourself now. Like you're not going to get to fuck me. Just drag it out over days. make them ache, you know? Yeah. There's so many angles of this, and this is such a little enabling tactic for you not being there. You don't even have to do anything. You just have to wear underwear and then put them somewhere.
This is it. Sometimes you you sometimes ask me to wear it throughout the day and then give it to you. And
yeah, I want a full day's worth.
I know you do, but I'm a little bit OCD when it comes to cleanliness and hygiene with that. So sometimes I don't do it, but sometimes I'll just put on the underwear when you're not here. I'll go use a toy or something, won't take the underwear off. I'll get them
nice and wet,
how you like them, and then I'll give them to you that way. So I know it could be daunting for some women also listening to this going, oh, I don't want to have to wear them all day and give them to him. There's other ways around it. You haven't got to go straight into that. I know you're so disappointed, the face of your face right now.
I was just about to be like, oh, just wear them all day. Whatever.
But just like as an idea, if you're in a starting place, just pop them on, go use a toy, go use your fingers, get them a little bit
moist. So I don't know why I said that.
I was going with gooey.
I think people will find that equally as yucky, you know.
All right, just do business
wet.
in them.
Just get them wet.
There you go. Oh, do you know what? When what's the thing in the car where you got the mirror on?
The sun visor.
Yeah, pop him in there. So when he's like going through the Mackey's drive-through and he goes to get his like card out or something to pay, they fall
You're
down.
such a peasant. Why? You're such a peasant.
Why?
Your immediate go-to wasn't like, oh, the sun's out, he'd bring the sun visor out.
Yeah,
when he's in Mackey's. Yeah. We've had, 2 McDonald's this year? And one of them didn't count because it's McDonald's breakfast and we were travelling. So you've made everyone who listens to this, which is tens of thousands of people now, and they're going to be like, oh, look at these chubby motherfuckers.
Okay, when the sun comes out, that's
too late.
That's literally what it's used for more.
Too late. We're bringing the JCB in so you can dig this hole deeper.
You know what I'm saying though,
I know exactly what you're saying, but your point was completely lost.
So lost, wasn't it?
Yeah. Okay. I think we've done that to death. That's my favourite. And if anyone didn't get it from my initial intro, I fucking love smelling Chelsea's used underwear. I love it. I think you've got a thing for it with girls as well, haven't you? We talk about it. We talk about the smell and taste of women.
I mean, I've got it for myself as well.
Just so self-indulgent.
I know.
Such an ego.
But
I love it.
You like me to sniff my underwear or lick my underwear, and I enjoy doing that.
Yeah, definitely. It's good fun. There's so many angles of this and we could go all day. But we won't, because people will probably be like, okay, what's next?
Right.
And what is next?
Let's move on to the naughty corner, which is a voice.
Tut. Naughty. Right, let's fucking do it.
Let's do this. So, due to work, I've been away for 3 months straight. Me and my partner have been together for 2 years now, but when I get back, she's been noticeably different. We didn't kiss for the first 3 days and haven't even had sex in 1 week. Whilst away, we would talk about what we would be all over each other once I return, but she hasn't been in the slightest. I've been forward with communicating, largely thanks to this show, and essentially asked what's wrong. And all she said was, it feels like I'm cheating on you with you because I'm not used to you being here. I often try to kiss and initiate sex, but she isn't having any of it. Am I the problem, or do I just need to give it more time?
Okay, wow. I tell you what, you give the female point of view on this, because I can give a very accurate male point of view because I've been away for months and months on end.
I don't think there's any one answer to this. I think there's several possibilities, but from a female point of view and a personal point of view, if what she's saying is true, that it's what I'm taking from that is she's saying it's difficult because you've been away for a while and then you come back and it feels like it's like not you. Because when somebody's not, when you're not with someone for a while and you're just talking over text and phone, that text phone person does become a different person in your mind to the physical version that you then see in front of you. So if there's some little shakes in the relationship anywhere where either you're not communicating or you're not like super close, you've been away from each other for a while and then you come together, it can take a little while to feel connected because you've been so used to being away from that person. Am I making any sense so far?
Yeah.
So I can understand that. But then there are some worrying things in there where, well, you said you didn't kiss for the first 3 days. That's mental, because regardless, I'd want to get up and give you or give the person I'm with a kiss to welcome them home, even if it felt a little bit foreign to me. So that is a little bit worrying. But yeah,
one of my best friends is away at the minute and he's been away for how long? 4 months now?
You can't wait to smooch him.
I can't wait to kiss him. First thing I do when I see him, when we're back in each other's arms, I'm going to kiss him.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, go on.
But so playing one side of the field in if what she's saying is correct, then I understand almost from that point of view. You say you've been forward with communicating a lot, which is great. What are you communicating? Because if you've been away for 3 weeks and then you get back, 3 months. Okay, if you've been away for 3 months and then you get back and the conversations that are coming out your mouth is all to do with sex and what you want to do and what you're interested in, it might be a little bit of a, can we just get back to normal life for a moment before we fuck from her?
We've got difference of opinions.
We do have difference of opinions on this.
Yeah.
Well, I'm giving one of my opinions because I do have another opinion as well.
Okay.
So I'm just giving the benefit of the doubt in the woman's corner right now. Do you want to say anything on this?
Well, do you want to do? I've got quite a lot to say on it, I think.
Right. Okay.
Do you want to do the rest of yours? Or do you want me to?
No, you go ahead.
Okay. So, first of all, contrary to what you say, hats off for communicating.
Yeah.
You know how hard that is for some men.
No, that's what I said. Like, it's great that they're communicating.
No, I'm not saying you've slated him at all, but I think no matter what, being able to open up and communicate, especially as a man, is good.
Yeah.
Obviously, understanding how you're going to communicate, how that person's going to take it, blah blah blah. There's a whole thing there, but you've done the right thing by trying to communicate a concern instead of allowing it to fester or worry or bubble over into other emotions. You've done the emotionally mature thing, so fucking hats off, brother. Now, 3 months, I don't think it's a very long time. To some people, it's a very long time.
Yeah.
I've accumulated years and years of my life I've spent out of the country or away.
That's you. If this is the first time they've had 3 months apart or anything like that, we don't have the background there.
See, with this, it's difficult because of my career, my past careers where, like I say, I've spent an awful lot of time away, come back and seen this kind of thing happen.
Yeah. And
I'm not going to say it's always bad, but it's quite often can be bad.
Yeah.
That person, and it's not even, I'm not saying that she's like cheated on you, but has there been an instance where if she's not used to it, has she got the emotional support that she's used to getting from you from somebody else?
Yeah.
And that can just be like a work relationship. That can be something else. That can be a friend that's no longer quite a friend. All I'm saying with that is I want to be honest, but I don't want to just put fear in you, but just be candid with her on that. Just be like, is this what's happening? Because the only thing worse, I think, than getting cheated on emotionally or physically is almost being gaslit about it and being told like, you're absolutely wrong.
Yeah.
How dare you think that? And then you start to question everything yourself. It's almost much fairer of that person to just be like, yeah, that's exactly what's happening.
Yeah.
The other thing is, so less doom and gloom, but still kind of doom and gloom. Sometimes people will get used to you not being there and then realize they prefer it.
Okay.
So that's what my mum and dad, my dad was in the army for, I don't even know how long. And I'm not close to my dad, but I say to my mum, like, what happened? And she'd be like, I just preferred him not being there. And when he used to come home, he'd ruin my house. Yeah. So in the end, I was like, you just need to get out of my house.
Fair.
Yeah. So, people they get used to it. And it's if you do a job where you go away, you'll understand what I mean. It's tough being away. I can tell you now, it's tougher being the person left at home because you've got to deal with all of the normalities at home without the person that you're used to. Whereas when you go away, you're in a completely different environment. You're doing a completely different thing.
You can almost forget about
home. Yeah, you're almost on a weird work holiday. Everything's different. You're not at home. You're not cleaning. You're not tidying. You're not seeing your friends. You're not driving your car. You're not doing anything normal. And then you come home and you're like, right, everything should be good now. And that person's like, hang on, I've climatized to you not being here. Yeah. I need to allow you to.
This is what I was trying to say a little bit.
I know I've kind of delved into what you were saying. No,
it's great. So, really, really bad example, but.
This is awful, by the way, but listen.
And it's not. Anyway, I'll get into it. So sometimes you'll be away for a night with work.
Just one
night.
Okay.
And I've had my moment, I've had my space, I've cleaned the house, I've sat on the sofa and done nothing but watch TV. And then you come home and the house is like active and lively again. And for like a very, very small amount of time, I'm like, well, I was just by myself. Yeah. Like, I've still got my program to finish watching. Yeah. And it's literally not the same as this, but it's almost them feelings of like, it's going to take a moment for me to readjust to you being here.
Yeah.
And
again,
especially like you said, with your mum, and after 3 months straight, and if it's not the sinister thing, which it could be, it could just be a case of it takes her longer to readjust.
Yeah. And it's, you know, and I'm not saying I've given you well, the worst case scenario that she's got a sort of physical and emotional support from somewhere else. Maybe she's just developed a really, you know, like a coping mechanism.
Yeah.
What would you say? Like just a self-love coping mechanism.
Self-soothing.
Yeah, self-soothing coping. Maybe she's just developed that, and it's like, okay, she really needs to get used to you being back. I think you need to.
There's a couple of things I'd suggest here.
You go, my love.
Wooing her. So it might just need a hard reset. You know, it might just need a really lovely day. I was
going to be such a man then.
Go on.
Like, fucking, why should he? Why should he?
No, I don't mean just from his point of view. Also, her wooing him. Both of you wooing each other. A hard reset of a really beautiful day together where each other's attention is all you've got. A really lovely evening, doing things you love, having a laugh, and then seeing where it goes from there. It might just need a little quick hard reset to kick it in. And like I say, with things, I've said this again in previous episodes with people who haven't had sex for a long period of time, and they're like, how can we get the spark back? And sometimes you just need a hard reset, and you just need to fuck, and you just need to get that bond back and that spark back between each other, rather than trying to tease it. Just hard reset and go for it.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's definitely a good option.
Yeah.
I think obviously he's tried to communicate, but I feel like there needs to be, if you've kind of got to the point where it's a stressor enough in your head that you're like, I'll write into a podcast that I listen to, then I feel like there's definitely more of a severe conversation to be had. Not severe as in negatively, but a much more serious conversation of like, right, okay, I know you've said this, but I don't feel like we're connecting on the level that we should be or we have done.
Yeah.
I want to hash this out and fully understand. I want you to break this down for me. And I would broach the subject.
Which is why I think with the hard reset, sometimes you just don't want to fucking talk about it, or you don't know how to talk about it, or you don't know how to explain what's going on. Sometimes actions speak louder than words. I feel like if you both put in the effort to have this kind of moment together, reconnect a spark, I keep saying hard reset, a day or two, even a week of it, of just focusing on each other and seeing if that spark's building back up again. And things just might naturally move the course into it. If it doesn't, that's where you need to be like, look, really tried. I've tried to speak to you. I've tried to put in an effort. Something's not happening here. I think we need to have a good conversation about it.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's a whole host of things that they can delve into here.
Yeah.
I think she needs to be more forthcoming.
Mm-hmm.
She needs to understand that he's been away, and again, he's come back excited to see the person that he's with. It doesn't say how long they were together. They're together.
They've been together 2 years.
2 years. Okay,
yeah.
So they're well-established relationship. He's excited to come back to her, and she's keeping him at arm's length. Why? And she needs to be understanding of his position. I feel like a lot of the times people get a chip on the shoulder, aka my mum, get a chip on the shoulder and be like, no, you can't just waltz back in here.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that. It's not like that. They've not just been having a fucking great old time. Been working. If he said, I've just come back from traveling for 3 months, just having a sick time in,
and now she doesn't want to touch me.
And now she doesn't want to touch me. Yeah, and I've just been in like Cancun and all around the South America for the last 3 months. You'd be like,
but it's hard to understand someone's reality when you're not in that reality.
Yeah, nobody's ever the villain in their own story.
Yeah.
Big shout out to my boy Richie who taught me that years ago. Nobody's ever the villain in their story. You know?
Nice, I like that.
Yeah, I love that. I always think about that when you think someone's a dickhead. You're like, they're never going to see it because they'll never be the villain in their own story. No one is.
No, I can see. I don't know. If I'm being a dickhead, I'm like,
you're being a dickhead, but some people are just dickheads. Do you think Vladimir Putin thinks he's the villain? Do you think Hitler thought he was the villain? No. No one's ever the villain in their own stories.
So I think, just touching on this before we get back into Hitler, I'd say start off with one of two ways, and whichever one you want to go with first, go for it. The hard reset, a couple of days or a week of trying to ignite a spark, and or a bigger discussion and talk on it and just really put your cards on the table. But I think like an action speaks louder than words in here, especially if they already spoke about it. The conversation must be getting a bit boring, draining. Got nothing more to add to it now.
Okay. No, I think that's
see
good.
How that goes.
Yeah, I think we're just beating the same drum if we go into it anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, so let us know how you get on. If you need any more advice, any more help with that, please just let us know. We're here to do what we can in the completely untrained manner that we're in.
Yeah, I always think when we read these stories, like, and we move on from it, and then it kind of goes out of our mind. I really hope these people are sorting shit out.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I mean. I want to hear back from them.
Not even if it's from our advice, just a hope. I don't like people being in uncomfortable situations or unhappy.
It's because you're a really nice person.
I'm a fucking villain. What are you talking about?
You are a villain. You didn't get upset at the Red Wedding on Game of Thrones. You literally just looked at it and went, so? I
didn't. I said, was that the Red Wedding?
Yeah.
And you was like, yeah.
I was like, snapping my neck looking at you in the TV to see your reaction. But no, I want people, and when we say update us, we don't mean update us so we can read it out. If you're happy to have it read out, great. But sometimes just update us. We like the tea. But also, like Chelsea said, like we genuinely have like a vested interest in people not being sad and feeling bad.
Yeah.
Because no one wants that for people, really.
All right, moving on to something a bit more fun.
Okay.
Not that we're calling that one.
Oh, it was serious.
There you go, yeah. Serious to fun, there we go.
There you go.
Right, being a bisexual woman with a twist, I was hoping to get advice. I am very much into women, but only in a threesome or throuple situation. I've been in 2 separate throuples and loved it. I'm not interested in one-on-one with a woman. I love dick too much. Relationships have been a disaster, and relationships have been a disaster this year, and when I tell my prospective partner I'm bisexual, they go one of 2 ways. Either the guy is dead against introducing a woman into the bedroom, or they become a man possessed, trying to find anything with a vagina to have fun with. Is there such thing as a happy medium, man? Also, where can you find other like-minded hot bisexual girls? The girls on apps like Field, Tinder, Hinge, etc. always end up being time wasters.
Wow.
Cool.
Okay. That is more fun. I think you're the SME on this. You're the subject matter expert on this. You
Thank
go
you
for
letting us know what that abbreviation was.
Some people don't know. I say it sometimes and people look at me like I've got 2 heads.
I love that she wouldn't be interested on one-on-one with a woman because she loves dick too much.
Yeah.
I can almost relate to that, but
You would fuck a woman one-on-one.
I've always said I could date women and I could friends with benefits women. I could fuck women one-on-one, but I couldn't be in a relationship with one because I love dick too much. Your dick too much.
Thank you. There we go. Ooh, nearly.
So
nearly.
I get it. So her question is trying to find a happy medium. I mean, yeah.
In a man?
In a man, yeah. You really should be able to find it. I'm going to assume you're going for the wrong guys.
Literally, I was going to say, it depends what age you're dating and what kind of character you're dating.
Yeah.
If you get a man who's not very secure in himself, he will say no to another woman because he feels like seeing his partner with somebody else, he's not secure enough to enjoy that. We've talked about this before.
Yeah,
and it's not a problem if you're not into that. Yeah, absolutely.
The thing is as well, we need to respect that. That's not going to be some men's things.
Absolutely.
Because they are straight and just want to be monogamous. That's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Like, hats off for you. You know what you want.
Yeah, I probably went in a bit slanderous there and been like, they're fucking let's grow up.
Some guys are fucking ridiculous.
But yeah, I think it's a happy medium. I think I'm a happy medium. I think I've had moments and I think it's hard when you get the man's...
You still do have moments.
Sometimes.
I think...
when you get a man's blood up, though, it's hard.
I say a good way of maybe taking control of this then is I think if you had control of finding said vagina, a quote what she said, if you had control of finding the vagina, we'd probably have a lot more threesomes. But I have control of when we do it and who we do it with. Yeah. So I'd maybe, if you're not already doing this, maybe you take the reins. You say to him, like, if you found a guy who is happy to have threesomes with you, say to him, but I'm the one who's going to source it and it's on my terms when I want it.
Yeah.
If you give him the reins to sort it, I think you're going to be having a lot more threesomes a lot more often, and it might feel like a bit of a we're just fucking, aren't we? We're just having sex with people. We're not in a relationship here.
It's difficult because a threesome to a man is like a toddler with Christmas.
Right.
You can tell them to stop talking about it, but it's all that's on their mind all of a sudden. And they want to talk about it.
Yeah.
And that's hard. And that, I think that just takes a little bit of time. I'm nothing like I used to be.
No, you...
But it's such an exciting prospect.
No, I know. I'd say maybe 10 months ago, you was a bit of a... Like you were these guys that she's describing.
Bad.
You was every other week. You was like talking about it and wanting it. And have we sorted something yet? You were just really excited by it, like you say. So that's why I'm saying if it was all in your hands, you'd probably be what she's describing
We'd be
here.
Drowning in third party women.
So I'd say to maybe combat that, when you do find a guy who is willing to threesome it, you do it. You do all the
I think that's important anyway, because I feel like for the woman to be in, unless you want to completely relinquish control, I think it's important for the woman to be in control of when, it's
the talking.
Exactly.
What I was going to say there is, I also set a boundary with you on it.
In what sense?
In the frequency.
Do you?
I did.
Did you?
You forget?
My memory's shot, you know this.
We've had this conversation a few times, but I'll go over it. I set a boundary in the fact that I didn't want our sex life to purely be about us and finding the next woman and having sex with other women. I wanted our own sex life outside of that. And then when we want to have fun, we bring another woman in, and then we go back to you and I connection.
Yeah.
So my boundary wasn't necessarily, we'll do it every 3 months, we'll do it every 2 months. It was more, just stop thinking it's on the table at all times, and we're going to do it when I want, basically.
Yeah.
I think, again, men, like you said, you're getting them excited. So you also need to set that boundary. Like, I like having sex with women, having threesomes, but I don't want that to be my entire sex life, because then it becomes a bit of a novelty.
Yeah, it loses its magic, I think.
Yeah.
And it's fun. It is great. But we haven't had a threesome in a while now.
No.
And that's cool. We haven't really talked about it in a little while either.
No.
Talk about it sometimes.
Because again, I think you've understood where the boundary lies.
I get it, but I get it now. And I get it. But I don't think we've ever lost our intimacy.
No, never.
Never. But I can imagine that could be a risk to some people if the man's in charge.
Yeah, or if the man, or you're constantly wanting to sleep with other people, you're going to start losing your individual spark.
Absolutely. I think finding the happy medium, we say the same thing every week, but just communicate it. Yeah. Exactly like you've said, set the boundary. If you meet somebody and you're vibing and they're all good, and I wouldn't even necessarily bring up the third party just yet. I'd ask them, you've had a threesome with two women, when you're doing that introductory bit with somebody and you get to the spicy stuff, and you start talking about like sex, you can ask those questions, but there's no need to necessarily straight off the bat be like, well, I'm bisexual and I want threesomes.
Because I feel like
that's just going to be like, oh, it's in his head, that's what I want. Yeah,
it's in his head. He's like, oh, she's spicy, I need to keep this crazy.
You've just dashed a load of blood in the water and you don't expect sharks to circle, and then you can kind of bring that in a little bit later. You might that person might end up being an absolute twat, and you're just like, oh, I'm glad I didn't open more of myself up to this person.
Yeah.
Unless you want it to be like a very casual thing with somebody, but I think what you're talking about is actually getting in a relationship, like dating somebody and possibly getting in a relationship with somebody who's open to doing kind of what we do. Mm-hmm. You really have to calm men down. I said it last week. I say it again this week. Men are dumb. We're really, really dumb. And, the ultimate fantasy for men, statistically, number one is a threesome with two women.
Yeah.
That's the number one. So the majority of men are probably going to be fantasizing about this for a long time. And then you're suddenly turning up and possibly putting it on the table.
First date, you're riling the beast.
Yeah, motherfucker. I want it and I want it now. So maybe introduce it later, or maybe explain to them, I really, I'd love to have a threesome with another girl, but it has to be very particular. I need to organize everything, and just use your past experiences to kind of pre-warn them.
Yeah.
Like, I've dated men before, I've told them this, and they've just gone on a rampage trying to find any woman for us to have sex with because they're just desperate for it, and it's immediately given me the ick and just made me want to fucking leave.
Then they know what to do.
And they're suddenly like, okay, I'm understanding the parameters of how I get this fucking magical situation.
That's a good idea.
I think there's definitely a way to skin it, and it's just about how well you kind of bring it up to them, because we're dumb. We're just really stupid things.
One thing I will say, that feels going out of my head as the words are coming out of my mouth.
Brilliant.
Go on, you keep talking. It's going to come to me.
Okay.
Just talk us about how men are like so
men
dumb.
Are really dumb. No. And I think you will find those people that kind of, if they're on that wavelength of doing that, emotionally mature enough to understand. The good way to find it, where you've talked about apps and stuff.
Sorry, my points now come to my head before we jump into how to.
I was running out of what I was going to say.
So like you were saying about not telling them straight away, seeing if you get along, then kind of leaning into it. I would hedge a bet on this, and I'm going from men that I know and men that I've dated, that had I brought that up early doors, that I'm bisexual and I want to have threesomes with them, it could and probably would have scared them off at the very, very beginning, because we don't know each other. You don't know the kind of person I am. We don't know all that about each other. If I was dating this person and had been for quite a while and they getting to know me a little bit more, and then I was like, I've actually been thinking I'd really like to have a threesome, is there something you'd be interested in? And because you've had sex, because you've let the walls down between each other, it could be something that they'd warm up to more than at the beginning, with a scary shock of a random stranger saying, yeah, I want threesomes with the person I date.
Yeah.
So there's just another reason to say don't go in so hot on your expectations from it.
I think a good thing from the point of view, like, because I didn't know you were bisexual the first time we dated.
No.
You know, we dated for months and I didn't know. I think if you've got a man who's excited by that prospect and says to you, oh, would you look for threesomes? You can say, maybe. Do you want me to tell you about when I've had sex with a woman and what it's like and what I like? Mm-hmm. Men want to hear that.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the live experience. That can kind of be an edgeways into it, but I would always pre-warn them with all of your past experiences of this is what other men have done, and guess what, they're not here anymore. This
is how it's gone tits up.
Yeah.
I'm not looking for it again. And then they'll be like, note to self, don't do that. She doesn't like it.
Exactly. So moving on to like how to find these kinds of things. Yeah,
she says Field, Tinder, Hinge all end up being time wasters. I think we've
had good times on Tinder.
Well, this is it. I think
we've been asked this question as well on Instagram before.
Yeah. To find these sort of people, regardless of where you're looking, you're going to have time wasters, because you're going to have people who are, one, unsure, two, even if it wasn't this field and you're just looking for casual sex, you get time wasters anyway, of people that are like, yeah, I'm up for it. I might be free this weekend. Weekend comes, you're free this weekend, blanked. I mean, it just happens anyway in trying to find casual sex, regardless of like trying to find a hot bisexual girl who wants to fuck a guy and a girl. So you're going to get time wasters no matter what. I'd bear that in mind. Tinder works really well for us. That's where we found people before. I don't rate Bumble, I don't rate Hinge, don't rate Field. Tinder's where to go, because I think it's way more quick fire to get through the time wasters. Whereas Hinge, you've got to like find a picture that you want to comment on and send and wait for them to respond. Tinder's quick fire.
Yeah.
It's also all about how you're setting up your profile. So our profile is really, really straightforward. The first line is a bunch of unicorns. The second line is couple. Third line is looking for like-minded open women for FFM, FF, like saying the things that you want. That's pretty much it. It's really to the point. We don't have, sorry, I'm going to cough.
That's all right.
We don't have anything that's like, I love hiking and going to the beach. Like, nothing about us. It's just really bullet point quick, some pictures. And I think that's how we get through it so quickly. People will look at it and go, yes or no. Sometimes I'll get people message me and go, sorry, didn't realise you was a couple. Didn't read your profile. I'm like, okay, see you later. I think just keep it really, really fucking simple and accept that you're going to get some time wasters.
I agree. I think talking about that, I'll put my little 2 pence in. So you're in a really great position to be a unicorn,
or is she looking for a unicorn? Either or.
Well, she is looking for a unicorn if she was in a relationship, but currently it sounds like she's single.
Right.
So what I'm saying is, whilst you're looking for a relationship, go and be a unicorn. Go and get some dick and pussy.
Yeah.
Go and enjoy yourself. Change your Tinder profile and look for women only, and just state that you want to, you're down to be a unicorn. Just put a unicorn in your bio.
This is it. Just keep it really fucking simple. A bunch of pictures of you, shit ton of unicorn emojis, and then write something like
DTF.
Yes, I'm that magical unicorn. DTF.
Yep. We know what that means.
Everyone will know what it means.
The other thing I'd say is you can look up different sex clubs where they'll have like certain couples and bisexual women invite onlys.
Yeah.
So Heaven Circle.
So a really good one for particularly women only would be, they're called one night parties, and they are set up by Modest Gold and the London Vagabond. And then we've also got ones, we've got Heaven Circle.
So we've got Heaven Circle.
And Domitus events.
I'm trying to find them now,
event?
but my phone's not connected because we're on airplane mode because we're recording.
Maybe we can put a section on our website with just some sex clubs.
Some sex clubs.
You've got also up north. So these are London-based ones. Up north-based ones, you've got the Townhouse. But yeah, maybe go throw yourself into a sex party.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Because again, you're in that really, really unique position of being able to enjoy yourself, being in such a great position, being a bisexual woman who knows exactly what you want, exactly how you're going to find it. So yeah, I think that you're in a great position and you should really utilize it.
Yeah.
Are you happy with that?
I'm happy with that.
Do you think we've covered it?
I think we've covered it. If you've got any more questions, let us know. And I think after this conversation, we should throw a little page on the website of some links and.
Well, I mean, we're on the list of a couple of those.
Yeah. So
we've got an already sort of set up contact with them, so we could just fire across them and say, "Do you mind us?"
Yeah.
Picking you up, and then people can kind of get that. We can just direct them to there.
Cool.
It's a good idea. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Okay, what's next?
Slippery when wet.
Slippery when wet.
That's all
that wasn't planned.
Oh, cute.
We're so in each other's heads.
Okay, so I've been very sexually active over the last few years after coming out of a long-term relationship. I started to develop a kink for giving women facials. I don't know what it is, but I love painting a woman's face with my cum. I know some aren't into it, but I'm curious if women think it's degrading, as I've had some women beg me to come on their face.
I think that's fucking great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think as long as you're finding the people that are into it, fucking yeah. I don't think all women find it degrading. There's probably some that do.
I think there's a lot of reasons why some women want it. They want to be degraded and they want to be humiliated. So yeah, just use me as a cum rag.
Yeah. And also it's like a very unique angle.
Yeah.
To be, able to see you orgasm.
Yeah, that's true. You get to see it because I love watching you come. So,
yeah.
And the same way you'll get women who absolutely love swallowing cum will be the same principles of the women that absolutely love having it on their face. Like,
I thought you were going to say as in you'll get some people that love it, some people that hate it. It's very much
of course, but I don't think it's just the degrading angle. I think it could be any angle. But
yeah, I think some women would say like coming on them is almost degrading. Some people will find a problem with something.
Yeah.
People aren't going to like everything. But if that's what you're into and you're identifying that and you're like, I want to fucking absolutely cover your face in cum. Good for you, man.
Yeah.
Good for you.
There's got to be something as well from, so when you see a pretty pussy,
yep,
being cum all over.
Yeah.
I think that's really nice.
That turns you on, doesn't it?
It turns me on. I like seeing something pretty being covered in cum. Maybe it could be from the flip for him. Like he likes seeing a pretty face just being absolutely smothered in his cum.
I like watching women get their face cum on in porn.
Yeah.
For that exact reason.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, there's 1 minute they're like, could just be, anywhere, doing anything, and now they got cum on their face. They're now sexualized.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it.
So yeah. No, I think that's cool though, man. Thank you for chucking that one in.
Cool.
Got any more slippery ones?
That's the only one today.
All right, we're on to the fun stuff. Oops, wrong hole.
Oops, wrong hole. We've got a few.
So, oops, wrong hole.
Oops, wrong hole. That was a really bad start. Several years ago when I was in London, I'm an Aussie male, I was dating a Kiwi girl. A sister of my mate in Oz had just moved to London and called me up for a drink. I had always fancied her, so I said okay. We met at a pub she worked at, and several drinks later we ended up shagging in her room at the pub. I had already had sex with my girlfriend that morning.
Oh
no.
Oh my God.
It was 2 p.m. on a Sunday.
It's just took a turn.
So I'd managed to shag a Kiwi and an Aussie. So I thought I'd need to do the Tri-Nations and shag a South African. Oh dear. I had a friend with benefits that I used to see from time to time, and she just happened to be a Safa. So I gave her a call to catch up for a drink that afternoon, which she was only too happy to oblige. Suffice to say that after a few drinks, we were back at her place shagging, and I managed the Tri-Nations in one day. Loving the podcast, guys. Keep up the good work.
You son of a bitch. Do you know what I hate about that?
What?
He's in London and didn't shag an English gal. His whole thing was about like, yeah, I've got to do a Kiwi, I've got to do an Aussie, I've got to do a Safa. Fuck a lot of you. I'm sour about the rugby. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. Okay, fair one. Nah, fair one. Hey, you know.
He knew what he wanted and he went and got it, and we've got to love a guy that does that. I'm trying to say positive things.
Yeah, no, that's cool. That's yeah, okay.
Next one.
That's a sick story for when you're in the boozer with the lads.
Yeah, I guess so.
For sure. Next one.
Started chatting with a bird on a dating app. We quickly agreed to meet up for some extracurricular activities.
None of these stories have ever gone wrong.
She invites me over for dinner. Can't remember what the meal was, but I do remember the salad. We ate, we chatted, then we got to it. Everyone gets what they came for.
Fucking hell.
I quickly realised that this was going to be a singular visit, so I'm trying to find the exit. To my surprise, the power goes off, so I use this as my out. The next morning, I receive a text message asking if I enjoyed dinner. That was quickly followed by a video of her vigorously defiling a poor innocent carrot until she reached an explosive squirting orgasm, one large enough to give the River Nile a run for its money.
Oh my God.
She then texts us saying, I hope you enjoyed the salad, as the carrot she so aggressively shagged was sliced into a garnish for the salad she'd prepared. Needless to say that a singular visit turned into many more.
I was literally thinking, like, is he upset by this? Because I think I'd probably get turned on by that. It's quite cool.
On.
Yeah, if you were like, by the way, that carrot you ate, I fucked myself with it. I'd be like, oh, all right. What are you saying?
We do it next week.
What are you saying? Yeah. Oh, that's fucking, that finisher. I love it.
Fair one.
One time turned into many, my guy. I love that. Hey, fair play to her as well. I mean, there is like a possible, like, maybe should have told him beforehand, but fuck it.
Some people will say that was non-consensual.
Ah, fuck them.
But they're the people that we like to delete their comments.
Yeah, they're the people that, yeah, fuck them.
Right, next one. So I'm a cam girl, been doing it for 3 years, so nothing surprises me until the other day. This guy was doing his thing, and so was I, if you get my drift.
Yep.
Yep. I didn't see his thing, and he said it'd come. Before leaving the show, he pulls off his condom and showed me it was full of jizz. I pretended it was sexy and said, wow, amazing, I'm glad I made you come. He then proceeds to empty the entire contents into his mouth.
Oh, no.
Well, I was gagging to the point I was sick on cam and had to run to the bathroom as I was sick all down me. Yet he was still online, getting paid to watch me vomit. I felt violated, will haunt me for the rest of my cam days.
Oh, you poor girl.
Oh, that was so unexpected.
You poor girl.
She's like, yeah, great. I'm so glad I made you cut.
I mean, the thing is, again, I'm not going to shame anybody for enjoying the taste of their own cum. I'm not going to, because I know I got a mate who does.
Yeah.
And he's wild as fuck. He used to think it was funny to come out from the toilets with his hand covered in cum and just lick it clean.
All right.
I didn't enjoy seeing it.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to shame people.
Well, I used to watch my mate piss into his own mouth, and I'd be like, I have to leave right now.
I'm not going to tell you about my party tricks.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
I have, yeah.
But poor girl. The thing is, she's obviously a professional. You know, she's like, I was really telling him how proud I was, how I'd done such a good job, and then that just tipped me over the edge. Mm-hmm. And
if she wasn't expecting it, if she'd had the message beforehand saying, I want to come on camera and then I want to eat my cum in front of you, she could have mentally prepared herself for that.
Yeah, maybe made a different dinner choice or something.
Hopped the price up just ever so much.
Yeah, exactly. But But what a pro though. What a pro. Fair play to her.
Fair play.
Big shout out.
Right, last short one.
Okay.
First time I had shower sex, I had the girl up against the shower wall.
Dangerous.
I dropped her. And long, painful story later, I ended up with a doctor with 2-inch wide purple bruise ring around the base of my dick for a couple of weeks.
Oh, she like pulled his dick down as she slid down.
Yeah, that sounds like some muscle movement.
In her. You have to be like in someone for that.
I mean, the shower sex sounds so sexy and it looks
We
sexy,
talked about this before.
but it's so dangerous.
I'm just not comfortable.
No.
Especially if you're like stood up and you want to do a one-legged shuffle. But yeah, no. Right. That's the end of the show.
That's us.
Quick plugs. Instagram.
Ironing Out the Kinks. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. If you want to send us a submission, it's iotk.fun, F-U-N.
F-U-N. And yeah, thanks so much for listening. We love you all. And yeah, we're just getting really big numbers and it means the world to us. And people who message us saying that they love our show means the absolute world to us. So we cannot say thank you enough.
We'll see you next week.
See you next week. Stay happy. Keep fucking. Bye.